my journey started not not like it is today, obviously. Um, I always had that dream Disney vision of that perfect relationship, and that wasn't really quite the reality I was living or was surrounded by, because my dad, he was manic depressive, and yeah, he wasn't really that that father and that husband you would think or expect what would be the normal. So when I became a teenager, when I was younger, we were really close, and he was very sweet and very lovely. And when I became a teenager, he went through his own crisis, which then caused him to become manic depressive. And from that moment, our relationship switched, and from that loving father he once was, became that guy who was very self-centered. It was all about him. He was cheating on my mom. He was not really kind to us, and yet I was holding on to my Walt Disney vision of that perfect guy, who would take care, you know, take care of the family and be there as a father, and have that team 50-50. And a lot of my friends, they thought I'm crazy. You living in your imaginary world. You can be just happy that you have a roof over your head, and look at other people. And I thought, okay, yeah, I get it. I am grateful for what I have, but I'm gonna look towards how I can have it better, right? Like how I can improve and how I can move forward. So that started really my quest to healing, my quest to to become truly who I am and tap into my own wisdom. I want to share with you one lesson, because I believe this is like one of the most important lessons I have ever learned. And I know if you really get it, that that lesson will really change your life. And that lesson I got from my NLP, called cause and effect. I want you to think about, what side are you on? Are you on a side where you feel like you're living off the effect of other people, or are you in course where you feel that everything you experience is part of who you are and is part of something within yourself? I know that might trigger some people, because they think, okay, how possibly can it be my fault that I was abused by my parents, or I was abused by a partner or something? And I totally get that, because I was there too. I was keep dating all those guys, obviously not all at once, one after another. And it took me a while, but at some stage I had to have a hard look at myself and had to ask myself, what is it within me that I'm keep attracting those people, that I'm keep picking? I can see a soccer team and I would pick the asshole out of it and would think, oh my God, he is fine. I want to date him, I want to get to know him a little bit better. And I could see that happening over and over again. And what I found out, I was living in a fact. And when I was living in a fact, I wasn't really taking any responsibility. Because once you stop living in a fact, you are taking fully control of your life. And I looked within me, what is it within me that I keep deciding that? And what it was that I wasn't really feeling worthy. I wasn't feeling good enough. I was always trying to fit in. So I stepped into a course, taking full responsibility. And once I did that, as soon as something in my world wasn't really the way I wanted, I knew that there was something within me I had to change. Because see, your reality is a 3D print of your subconscious mind. So let that just sink in, that your reality is a 3D print of your subconscious mind. But what that means is that you can change anything. You can change any subconscious belief and create a better reality for yourself. So as soon as I realized that, as soon as I would experience something, I would just think, okay, what does I believe? What makes me feel, or what makes me attract, um, you know, this situation, or, and sometimes it can be fear of rejection, or I'm not enough, or um, I'm scared of being judged. When you're scared of being judged, you are going to be judged even more so because you're scared of it. So you're attracting it. So I really want you to, if there's one thing you take away, I want you to take away that one thing, because I know this one is a life changer, because you will be 100% in control of your life and how you're moving forward. So when I was 20, I was on a quest to finding that Mr. Right, the guy who would not cheat on me and treat me like shit. But I wasn't as successful when I was in my 20s. And, one of the reasons was really that I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself completely. And that was my mistake number one. Mistake number two, and that was probably one of the most important things I needed to learn. When I was dating someone, I was looking at their potential. I looked at all the good things and I overlooked the imperfection. Well, I think this is a very amazing personality trait of mine. By wanting to find a man, you don't want to do that. I really overlooked the alarm bells, the little nudges my instinct gave me, the feeling that something was off. I was just brushing over it, thinking I'm the one seeing ghosts. I'm the one being delusional. Has anyone ever done that of you guys? Because I know I was really mastering doing that. I was literally talking myself into something. I was talking myself into a relationship where instinctively I already knew that this guy wasn't right for me. But, I told myself, like, look at him. He is so kind. He's so smart. And he's looking amazing. And we have the same interests. How can he not be the right one? So basically, I convinced myself. I talked myself into a relationship. And I did that for 20 years. And it took me 20 years till I realized that I was doing that. And I really think it's a lot what women do, because we're the nurturers. We're looking at the good things. We want to bring out the beauty in everyone, which is beautiful. But have you realized how much unused potential is going around? There are millions, billions of people having so much potential. And yet, when they die, that potential was never touched. So I realized I can't really live my life, over and over again, thinking of people's potential and not the reality. That was mistake number two. Mistake number three, I was talking and saying things what I know the person wanted to hear. I was so obsessed to fit in, to be the good girl, or maybe the bad girl, depends what they were looking for, that I was really not owning myself, because I was more interested to fit into a stranger's world and really discarded my own, and didn't really value what I needed and what I wanted in life. My mistake number four, my relationship counsel were my single friends, the ones which were heartbroken, the ones which were divorced. And let me tell you, my friends mean well. They love me. They want to give me all the best advice they know. But they haven't been there yet. They haven't found that good relationship. They haven't healed their broken hearts. So how could they possibly help me to get there when they haven't even gotten there themselves? And it took me really a while till I realized that. And from that moment, I was really just listening to my friends, which have good relationships I inspire to be in, and relationships which are, whole, where they grow together as a team. So that was my mistake number four. Before I met my husband, when I have a problem in life, I do a prayer and I ask God to help me. And I ask, God to help me learn lessons and, find the things and the path he wants me to walk in. He wants me to, bring through. And when I came to New Zealand, actually the first time when I came to Australia, there were everywhere Asians. And in Germany, I think I've met one Asian person before. So it was quite unusual for me. And in New Zealand, I lived with, we were flirting with an Asian guy. And in Australia, I was living with an Asian girl, and she was very, very anxious. The door had to be closed, the blinds had to be closed. And there was so much cultural, because I'm German, and people from Asia, we're quite the opposite. So I had quite difficult experience, and I know that you got in every culture people which are good and which are not good. So I sat down and said, God, please send me a reason to like Asian people. I'm sure they're not all like that. There will be some amazing people, I know. So, introduce me to that. I want to see more. So I went on my journey, and the day I met my husband, I went to a dance class, and I went all by myself, wanting to learn ballroom dancing and tango and all of those things. And I didn't really care to be there by myself, because I finally owned myself, and I finally learned that I can just do everything I want to do, and I don't need to wait anymore. I don't need to wait for that perfect person. So I went to that dance class, and there were 3 girls by themselves, and there was only this one guy which didn't have a partner. And the dance teacher said, okay, the guys have to stand on one side and the women have to stand on the other side. And I made sure I shuffled my body so I'm opposite of him, because it was like, yeah, we are like same height, yeah. So I was hoping he was picking me. So the dance teacher said, okay, everyone grab your dance partner. So we women, we would wait on one side, and I was crossing my fingers and just thinking, please pick me. And he came over and asked me if I want to dance with him. So that was the beginning of our journey. And when I met him, I was 31, almost turning 32. And I always thought, because I'm also a nurse, once you turn 30, you're more of a risk pregnancy considered. And from 35, it's going to get worse, and from 30, it's going to get worse. So my perfect imagination was always 30. I'm going to have a beautiful husband and going to get married. But when I was just before my 30th birthday, I actually separated from my ex-partner. And so my whole vision kind of just shattered. But I knew I wanted to have a child. And so when I met my husband, I said, like, look, I'm 31, turning almost 32. And he was 5 years younger. So I knew, he doesn't want to start a family. And I told him, like, from the beginning, look, buddy, I'm over 30. My clock is ticking, buddy. And I want to have a baby. And I absolutely understand if that's not what you want, then you want to wait longer. But my cutoff is 35. So if you still don't want to have a baby, that's totally fine. But I will get a donation, because I don't want to miss my train. And when you're really nice to me, I'm going to pick an Asian one, so the baby looks a little bit like you. And he was just laughing, but I was serious as hell. And what I did there was I totally honored myself. I wasn't scared he would run away and think like, oh my God, I just met her and she talks about babies. Actually, it's crazy. I honored me. I honored what I really wanted, what was important to me. Because I've seen friends of mine going into a relationship thinking this guy wants a baby. And then a few years down the road, when their train already was passed, they said, well, actually, I don't want to have babies. So I knew, like, I don't want to miss that train, because I know how important it is to me. And I thought, like, there's like no way I'm going to miss my train. So I will let him know so he can make his mind up what he wants, because that's just fair enough. Like, and he just needs to know where he's at. And so he was just laughing, and, he didn't really say anything to that. So short after, short after, it all kind of just fell into place, really. We got together, and short after, actually, we were already expecting a baby, and we got married. It literally just went wham, wham, wham. And I think I would have never gotten there if I would have not, be my true self, honor myself, and really say what I want. Because when I met him, he was actually still in a relationship, but I didn't know that at the time, and nothing happened between us. We were just dancing, and he told me, he was like, "Look, I really like you, but I'm still in a relationship, and I have to sort that out. And if I can wait for him." And I was thinking about him. First, I said yes, and then I said, "Look, whatever this is your problem. You have to sort that out. I'm single, and I'm gonna go and meet guys because I want to be in a relationship." And again, I honored myself. First of all, I honored my values because I knew, and I think it ties in good to the other story. I deserve a free man, and I also know if I would have allowed myself to get involved with a man which is already involved with someone else, I would always live in fear that he would do the same to me, because what would stop him to do that to me when he already does it to someone else? So I really made sure these are my values. Like, look, we can dance, but nothing. And he was not that he was trying anything, or that but I wanted to make that clear that whatever this is, you have to sort it out. And I just do whatever and then he asked me, like, "So what do you do tonight?" And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go dating. Like, I'm free. Like, I'm single. I can do whatever I want. You're the one having a problem here." And then the next morning, he went to his ex-partner, well, now ex-partner, and talked to her and broke up, and called me on the way back, and he said, "I'm single now. I'm gonna hunt you down. You're gonna be mine now." And I was just laughing because I was like, okay. And really, the evening, I think it was the evening where we met at a Mexican bar, and I thought, surely he wants to be a little bit by himself, sorting himself out. But he was just taking my hand, and he was like, "Now we official, right? Like, okay." And I was like, okay. And that was the beginning of our story. And I think I would have not got there if I first would have really not valued myself. Stop being afraid to say what you truly want in life. Stop being afraid of speaking up and saying where you want to go. And stop trying to fit in. Like, be you, raw, crazy, wild, whatever it is, be you. Because the real partner will then identify you. He will see you and he will think, yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Not someone who's trying to fit in or tell me, what I want to hear. So go out there and be you. Say whatever comes into your mind and attract that beautiful man which is waiting for you on the other side. I'm Linda Ho, and it was so nice to be here. Thank you, guys.